And I believe we are live, I think. I hope so. YouTube isn't doing a very good job telling me. Thank you, Robin. We're live. Welcome, everyone, to the first ever live stream here on Muptown Funk. I'm Ty, the guy that runs this channel, but you already knew that. Welcome, everyone. Very excited to be doing a live stream here. I tried to yesterday, and that didn't work. I wasn't live stream certified, so literally I clicked to go live, and it said you'll be able to stream in 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? It's like, my channel is verified. It's been verified since the day I made it. Now I just have to sit around for 24 hours until I could stream here. And I wish I knew that ahead of time. I wish I knew that going in. I didn't know that going in. Thanks, YouTube. So I'm very sorry that this is a day late. See a lot of familiar faces here. Welcome, everyone. You are not too late. We started, according to YouTube, 104 seconds ago. So you are the complete opposite of late. I guess the opposite of late would be being here before I started. In which case, I'm sorry for how long it took me to set up. I wanted to... I really wanted to just screen record a logo I made. And at the last minute, I learned that my laptop isn't up to date and couldn't download the streaming app to screen share. So I had to go through a bunch of my storage, get out as much Muppet stuff as I could find as quickly as possible, and set it all up. So we have a very interesting setup here, I think. This is some old Muppet Babies comic. It's like I need something in the background. I need some sort of paper. This is an old Muppet Babies comic. What is this? This is... I can't even tell. This was a Marvel was producing Muppet Babies comics. I own 2 of these. Here's an ad for Popples on the back, if you've ever heard of these. These were a 80s toy. What? Alright, number 11, January 1987. It even has the approved by the Comics Code Authority logo. That's how you know it's, not a recent release. This is very early in Marvel's Kids line. You even have Spider-Ham there. I think he debuted about 2 years earlier. There's a letter to the editor section, which is really funny. Yes, this is Star Comics. I guess this was a print of Marvel. Things include an entire storyline about the Muppet Babies attempting to make a sand castle, and then, like, a bunch of Vikings show up. There's also one where they... Oh my god. That Michael J. Fox? That's how you know it's from 1987. He was on an episode of Muppet Babies. Oh, see, look. No way! Oh, this is from the, This is from the Free the Captain Crunch campaign. For several years in the 80s, they ran a campaign called Free the Captain, where this guy named the Sog Master kidnapped Captain Crunch. And he tried to make everything soggy. And you had to free the captain. And it was like a multi-year campaign in the 80s. And I didn't know... As you can see, this is a whole advertisement with Spider-Man facing off against the Sogmaster. Look at that. The Amazing Spider-Man in the Free the Captain mystery. Can we get the Free the Captain Spider-Man in Beyond the Spider-Verse, please? That's amazing. Here's an ad for laser tag. It wouldn't be the 80s without a homemade laser tag. Also, they become superheroes. You guys know Howie Mandel voiced Kermit on Muppet Babies before he was like at the level he is now. Muppet Babies need to join the MCU. Let's get him in here. We find a legal loophole there. It's all Disney. I want a insanely scary, hyper-realistic CGI Kermit. Yes, this is Darth Gonzo. This is from a line of Star Wars Muppet figures they did. I got these when I went to Disney World in 2013. Gonzo came packed. I have several. The rest just aren't with me right now. The Gonzo came packed with Camilla with a Stormtrooper helmet. And, I dropped the helmet off of the balcony of my hotel room in Disney World in 2013. So he just frantically went down to the outside of the hotel and picked it up. And I think that instilled in me a deep-seated fear of dropping things. Video about Wilkins and Wonkins. That's like one of the... I think I've gotten several requests for them. The interesting thing I've realized is a lot of times when I get a request for a character, I tend to get it more than once. But Wilkins and Wonkins are so good. Wilkins and Wonkins are a lot more well-known than they used to. Yeah, the channel did grow very fast. That was so weird for me to see how fast it went. But I'm very happy. Yeah, exactly, Robin. He's referring to... This is Robin. He's a good friend of mine from... we met through my main channel. Muptown Funk is actually my side channel. My main channel is about the Disney Cars movies. And yeah, we're getting... That has over 7,000 subscribers, and we're getting similar numbers to that. So, like, that's crazy. I know a lot of people from my main channel came over here. Thank you to everyone who did that. But yeah, no, Wilkins and Wonkins are... The interesting thing with them is that was a formula in, like, every single Jim Henson commercial at the time. That was always the formula. One likes the product, the other doesn't, and then one is violently injured because of it. I'm very glad I was able to fish out some of my Palisades figures. I love this Johnny Fiamma. My Gonzo's over here. He has an actual functioning firing cannon. I would shoot it, but I don't want to knock everything over. Also, these figures are so expensive now. What's the oldest thing on the desk? This Rolf back here is a stick puppet from the 70s. Okay, buddy, what do you think of Wilkins? Okay, buddy. That was the wrong voice. That was Wonkins, not Wilkins. No, okay, yeah, this This is a stick puppet. I want to say 1978. Okay, we're just going to leave it like that. So he has a weird stick that goes in the back. I don't know where it is. And then you control him. He can sit. Or I guess he could stand like that if he wants to. I guess if you wanted him to twerk, which I wouldn't advise, but he could. Hypothetically. But yeah, this is like a rare piece of old Rolf merchandise. Not that it's rare. I think my parents got it for me for my birthday one year. It's a rare occasion of a piece of merchandise that Rolf was involved in. You'll see back in the day, he wasn't featured. I feel like he's featured a lot more nowadays. There we go. Now it's standing. Is it Wonkins or Won'tkins? I don't know why people say Won'tkins. There's no apostrophe there. Everything I've ever heard is Wonkins. Welcome, Concept Chiefs. Yeah, I've heard people say Won'tkins. I always heard Wonkins. I always thought Won'tkins was wrong, but maybe I'm wrong. That's the pun there. But I don't think it's pronounced that way. They had some weird merchandise back in the day. They made, like, you could get some mail-away items of Wilkins and Wonkins. Back when they were first created. Yeah, Rolf's always been a Muppet with a lot of screen time in the show and movies, but never got a lot of merchandise for some reason. Yeah, I... Will and won't, yeah, Wilkins and Wonkins, yeah. Well, that was the pun, but I mean, the company name was Wilkins anyway. Yeah, Rolf, I feel like, has been getting a lot more merchandise recently. I sort of expect nowadays Rolf to not get merchandise. They had, like, rubber puppets of Wilkins and Wonkins, yeah. Like, when Rolf was included in the minifigure series, I was hyped. I did not expect him to make it in. He was in the Muppet Doorables recently. He's been, I feel like, in a lot more recently. Wilkins will be the first coffee on the moon. Yeah, it's gonna be hard when I inevitably do my video on Wilkins and Wonkins. It's gonna be so hard picking my favorite ones. That's the problem. They're all like 6 seconds, which is crazy. Son plays, you need to be more tea. I told myself, if I ever make Muptown Funk merch, the first thing I need to make is a t-shirt that says be more tea. I don't know how legal that is. I want to launch Gonzo so bad, guys. This is an actual functioning cannon. But, like, I don't know where to go. No, I don't want him to knock over the plant. I think Dr. Phil Van Neuter... I don't think there is anything for... Oh, no, Phil Van Neuter got a Palisades, right? He did get a Palisades figure, didn't he? I don't think Digit has. I swear Phil Van Neuter got a figure. Did I make that up? Is this just like some sort of complex Mandela effect? Yeah, Palisades Toys Series 8. Here it is. Thank you, Muppet Wiki. Coming in clutch, as always. I gotta get more Palisades figures, guys. They were so... I wanted them so bad when I was younger, but they're always very rare. They're always very expensive. At least Diamond Select is going back to making Muppet stuff. They've been re-releasing their old figures. Next year they're releasing a Pepe and an Uncle Deadly. If I ever get new Muppet figures or other Muppet merchandise, I'll definitely do a review of it on this channel. What did Phil Van Neuter come with? A wall clock. Okay. The first thing the Muppet Wiki lists is wall clock. Eggnog. He comes with eggnog. Getting a Marvin Suggs one. I know there was even a repaint of Marvin Suggs. There's like a black and white, like tuxedo-esque Marvin Suggs, I think. Wall clock, eggnog, 2 flasks, 2 boiling flasks, burner tripod with flask. Okay. Could a clown car fit in that cannon? Oh, amazing question. I think so, Plushie Rama. Let's see. We're gonna do a channel crossover, and it's only been 15 minutes. I will get one of my car's die casts just for you, and we'll see if we could fit them in the cannon. I'm not gonna launch it because I value that this is my sister's plant, and I don't want to destroy it. But I think we probably could get a car in there. Yeah! Oh, I need to remember that. Oh, that's really funny. That if we just... Oh! Wow! Thing's got some power to it. Okay. For those of you wondering, Gonzo's cape fell off. I tried to get it back on. Yeah, so my only Palisades figures, I got them all 10 years ago, but I want to get back into collecting them. I have Johnny Fiamma, who you see over there, Gonzo the Newsman, and Popcorn movie theater usher scooter. That's it. What I really want to get and then do a review of is the old pack of the Swedish Chef. It was a Comic-Con exclusive pack, but I found a pretty cheap, like a $30 eBay listing for it. And it's the Swedish Chef and the Lobster Banditos. So it's from one episode of The Muppet Show where several lobsters with guns, like, mug the Swedish Chef. I was like, well, I need to buy those. Now Ty's screaming because he launched a car out of a cannon. Very, very out of character for Muptown Funk. That's supposed to be the calmer of my channels. Did you ever play My Muppet Show? I did. I played it obsessively when it came out, man. I know there are several fan projects. There are several fan projects. And it's a shame because my Singing Monsters is still around. I was talking to one of my friends. I was explaining My Muppet Show to him. He's a good friend of mine, watches Muptown Funk whenever I post a video. And he was like, yeah, I play My Singing Monsters every single day. I was like, you're kidding me. I didn't know it was still a thing. I forget, there were 3 different Johnny figures. Each one came with a different fake album. They also each came with a different framed photo. Mine came with the Salmonella photo. All of these Muppet figures I keep in storage, but my Salmonella photo I keep next to my bed just because I think it's funny. I'll go find that real quick. I have all my Muppet stuff spread across 2 different bins with just a bunch of other stuff I don't keep on display in my room. I have the Newsman, but I know his background isn't in this room. Same with, not in this bin. So the other figures, one came with, one came with a picture of him, and one came with a picture of his mom. Never understood why in My Muppet Show, instead of the robot from the movie, there's a very similar robot in the game, but it's apparently a different character. Ooh. Now I know my audio's working. I just unmuted the stream. I have it up on my laptop, too. Yeah, so I actually never made it to that stage in My Muppet Show, the pirate ship stage. But one of the characters on there was the 1880s robot, which is a reference to the 80s robot from the 2011 movie. I'd love to do a video on him. There's just not much to say. Bring him back, guys. I know he's like a one-off gag character, but he's funny enough. Well, no, the one in my Muppet Show was the 1880s robot, and the one in the movie was the 1980s robot. So that was the whole joke. Yeah, I know Sam and Friends, yeah. I'm not sure if when I'll cover it, but we will see. The real Muptown Funk? Is that the real Cars Like Ninjago? I don't think so. I think he's been replaced. Why is the CIA Muppet a Jedi now? Well, you see, he was a very prolific Jedi Knight in his day. And then Order 66 came, and he was one of few who survived. CIA Muppet's my favorite character in Muppets Most Wanted. Aside from Danny Trejo. I think I'll have one of my favorite jokes in the original Muppet Show with Alice Cooper. I, as a kid, was terrified of the Alice Cooper episode. Could not get through it. And then I watched it for in full for the first time ever. Like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, yeah, I completely get why. It's really funny, but it's like, I don't think they would allow that on TV nowadays for the rating the Muppet Show had. You do a video about the fake Miss Piggy. I was gonna do one on the Muppets recently, actually. Alright, thank you, food dude. I'm gonna go for probably an hour. Oh, geez, it's already been 25 minutes, and we will see how long I go for. They even used the Muppets outside the movies. They They've used Miss Poogie since. She was in the prison in Muppets Most Wanted. And she's been used pretty recently. The rest, no, which is honestly pretty disappointing. I would love to see the rest of them be reused. I know the animal one was played by Dave Grohl, so you can't get him back. But, the least you can do is bring back Foozie, Janus, Kermit, and Rolf, okay? Like, it's great. Has Constantine never made an appearance outside Muppets Most Wanted? He has, but not much. His most recent appearance was on an episode of Bill Beretta's podcast. Want to do a Muppet tier list, or should we save that for another time? That would be a very funny stream idea. Constantine was most recently in an episode of Bill Beretta's podcast, yeah, but he was, his main stuff was just promotional appearances, but he was in the Kodachrome video. The Muppet Wiki lists his filmography as just Muppets Most Wanted and Kodachrome, then it lists an absolute ton of appearances he made. Yeah, he's returned sometimes. He was most recently seen at the Television Humanitarian Awards in September of 2020. But that was after like a 5-year absence. Yeah, I think they gave an explanation on why Timmy Monster, the green guy from the older Muppets intro, went missing. Yeah, the Muppet Character Encyclopedia says that he started his own bakery called Timmy's Treats. I don't take anything the Muppet Character Encyclopedia says seriously. The whole thing is written with such a sarcastic tone. I remember, like, I pre-ordered it. When it first came out, I was so upset because everything in it was, like, so sarcastic. Nowadays, I really respect it. It's a very fun book. He was just able to go in public despite being the most wanted criminal. Well, by the end of the movie, he's the second most wanted criminal behind the lemur. And I don't know, I don't think we've seen that guy since. Oh my gosh, he was in a Vsauce video in April of 2015. They were on a video on Vsauce 3. Called What If Quicksilver Ran Past You? Quicksilver like the X-Men? That's really random. Oh no, I'm now going to Vsauce 3. Oh, there's Constantine. I think I saw this when it came out. I'm scrolling through the video and I see no footage of Quicksilver. Oh, now I see footage of Quicksilver. What do you think would happen if he ran past you? I think your skin would fall off of your body. Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. When are we doing a sequel? Please, we need a Wilkins and Wonkins to come back where they're traveling salesmen. I saw this idea earlier. It's too good to pass up. That's pretty solid. I think we get Peter Linz to do Wilkins, maybe. It's very... I think Peter Linz could pull off Wilkins. I don't know who you get for Wonkins. Bill Beretta for Wonkins, I'd say, probably. Someone with, like, a raspy voice. Wilkins and Wonkins were both performed by Jim Henson, and they were both pretty common voices he did. Watkins would be held at gunpoint to be there. All right, sell it to them. Go. All right, Watkins, you need you to sell this. Muppets Space is my favorite Muppet movie. I wish the house I lived in looked like their boarding house. It's so cool. Yeah, the Muppet house in Muppets from Space. Like, dude, that's the coolest thing to me. I loved that when I first saw that movie. I was like, that is so cool. How do they all fit in that house? I don't know. I mean, we see how long the line for the bathroom is. Is it still canon that Gonzo is an alien? I have no clue. I don't think it's been mentioned since... It was mentioned in the Muppet Babies reboot, I think. I think it was... I didn't watch it, but I remember reading at one point several episodes of the Muppet Babies reboot. That could be a fun video if I do a video on, like, the history of what Gonzo is. And then just be like, yeah, I guess he's an alien still. I mean, there are other Muppets out there with nondescript identities. Like, we don't know what type of species they're supposed to be. Favorite Muppet Show episode? I don't know. I can't pinpoint one. I love the Alice in Wonderland episode. It's not on Disney Plus. But that's one of my favorites. The Star Wars one, I'm a big Star Wars fan. The Star Wars one is great. It also gave us Angus McGonagall, the gargling gargoyle, who was always, like, so close to being put on the polls for the next Muppet Deep Dive. Yeah, Gonzo's usually classified as a whatever. I can't think of many examples of them saying what Gonzo is post Muppets from Space. Welcome, Purple Toad, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Because I guess we know. I want the other Muppets from the snack commercials that Beta Cookie Monster came back. Yeah. Can we get the wheel stealer and the flute snatcher? Which one of the big Muppet monsters is your favorite? I think it's Thog now. I don't think it was Thog before. but I think it's Thog. You know, I started with Rolf, which is my all-time favorite character, but since then, like, every episode I've done has given me such a deep respect for the character, because I basically dedicate, you know, a day or two out of my week to just fully researching and learning what Gonzo's supposed to be still isn't as confusing as Skeeter. Thank you, NASCAR Fan 05. You're right. I get to spend a whole day every week just, like, hyper analyzing the entire history of the character. You know. And, it really gives me such a deep respect for every character I talk about. And I come out of each episode liking that character a lot more. I didn't really feel that way for Walter, because I think I knew everything about the Walter episode since he's such a more recent character. Gonzo keeps changing his story. In the audio commentary from Muppets from Space, he clarifies that the aliens we see are his real alien relatives. When in later years he denies this. One thing that always stood out to me was in the ABC show, there's a running joke about, in one episode, there's a running joke about Gonzo's mother going on a cruise, and that always stood out to me. But I don't remember if Muppets from Space clarifies that he has no parents. Like, he could still be an alien, and he could still have parents that he's in contact with. But, like, you know, there's a reason why I do Muppet history and not Muppet lore. There is no Muppet lore that's consistent. The Muppets Mayhem says Janice had a twin sister. Is that ever going to be addressed again? Probably not. Will the 100th episode be Kermit? I think Scooter and Janice are slowly merging into the same character. They could totally be related. Uh, 100th episode on Kermit? I don't think so. I think we have to tackle him before then. If I do one Muppet Deep Dive a week, then I don't do one on Kermit until over a year after the channel was started. I don't know. I try to avoid super major characters just because of how much there is. But my goal is also to try to condense history in like 15 minutes or less. And I tell myself, like, if I was able to handle everything about Rolf in 15 minutes, then I could definitely condense Kermit. I'm just not going to be showing as many clips or, you know, like, what I do when it's a character with more appearances is I just don't address every single appearance. That's what I did in the Rolf episode and in the New Zealand episode. I guess that's what I always do. I just go over most notable appearances. So if the character is more major, then I just have to highlight less appearances, I think. Are you going to do weird Muppet products? I'm not sure. I think that'd be funny. There's a lot out there. What do you think of When You Wish Upon a Star on the Muppet Show? So that was played. They sing that at the end of the Star Wars episode, and I think Defunct Land said this in his Jim Henson documentary, but that's just like terrifying foreshadowing. The Star Wars characters and the cast of the Muppets sing When You Wish Upon a Star, the theme song of Disney. And that's just the irony there, man. They tried to warn us, right? The pigs in space knew. They knew. Yeah, this Kermit I had as a... I got him from Disney World as a kid. He's looking a little worse for wear. No, I also have an animal from that time period, which looks really bad. I don't have it with me anymore. I still have it, but... Okay, this is what the Muppet Wiki says, and it's, Gonzo the Alien section. Quote, in the years immediately following the release of Muppets from Space, most merchandise labeled Gonzo as an alien. His vehicle in Muppet Race Mania is a spaceship, and in a very Muppet Christmas movie, Gonzo wrote a letter to Santa Claus about how he learned he was an alien that year. But that direction with the character was soon abandoned, and Gonzo was reverted back to being labeled a whatever. Gonzo and Dave Goelz began telling audiences during live appearances that his identity as an alien was just done for the movie. Well, That... Yeah, but a 2019 episode of Muppet Babies explores Gonzo being an alien from the planet Gono. Okay. And the residents there are called the Gonzonians. Great. I mean, I don't really count that. It's Muppet Babies. Looks like the Kermit that fell off the building in that one video. Do we know who made that? Do we know what Kermit plush it was? Warner, though, what inspired you to do these Muppet Deep Dive videos in the first place? Any YouTubers in particular or something entirely? Not really. I think for me it was a lack of Muppet YouTube content and like this sort of style. But one channel that really was a major part of the inspiration with this is Colin Looks Back, who's done a really great series of... Back in 2019, which is when I started watching him, he did a great series going over obscure Sesame Street characters. And over the summer I watched his other really great series, which is a retrospective on every Disney villain. That was probably my biggest inspiration when it comes to other channels. An underrated channel. His stuff is great. I'm on my way to New York City to break into public television. Actually, I'm going to the gym. Great, I need to start telling people that's what I'm doing. I do miss Steve Whitmire. Yeah, I like a lot of Matt Vogel's roles, but I am not a fan of his Kermit at all. I know that's the general consensus, but man, and I think they know. I think Disney knows, just from the lack of Kermit in starring roles over the past few years, other than public appearances, which are more likely to be watched by, you know, not diehard fans, just the general public, who's probably going to be less critical of Kermit's voice. But, like, the whole scenario there just sort of screams of, you know, really rushed response. Like, there's still not a replacement for Rizzo. Rizzo just left, and I know none of them were probably expecting Disney to fire him, right? There's still not a replacement for Rizzo. What's the best Muppet song and why is it Me Party? I refuse to believe it's Me Party. I never thought that. I always thought the song was such a weird inclusion. Amy Adams is great, though. We give him that. We give her that. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Pineapple Man. Goodbye. Does Rizzo have a Twitter? Is it still active? It's okay. We can make up for the fact he doesn't physically appear anymore. Because his Twitter is active. Is his Twitter just full of him saying, "Guys, bring me back"? Oh yeah, he does have a Twitter. Wow. Okay. Hi, Rizzo, Twitter. Yeah, it's me. Well, the last Rizzo Twitter post was, from December of 2021 to celebrate the, anniversary of Muppet Christmas Carol. Happy anniversary to the Muppet Christmas Carol, released on this day in 1992. You may know it was a movie that featured the credit Rizzo the Rat as himself. Pretty sure cinema peaked at that moment. Oh, sorry, no, he posted it again. That's his pin tweet, sorry, I don't know how Twitter works. He posted again on December 11th, 2022. Wow, today's the 30th anniversary of the Muppet Christmas Carol. Hard to believe it's been that long since Mr. Dickens and I told Scrooge a story. By the way, if you're wondering, my tail is still singed. His bio is great. It's me, Rizzo, that rat from TV. Point me to the nearest restaurant, will you? Joined August 2015. Actually, it's ask to the next. Rizzo making physical appearances challenge impossible. I could have sworn he had a line in the Haunted Mansion special in the song. Was I wrong about that? Was that a different rat? And I know he appeared in, of all places, the James Corden episode where they all appeared via Zoom in 2020. Pretty sure he was in that. But I don't know if he had any lines. I learned that while doing the Vulture video. But he's really been excommunicated from the main cast just because they haven't found a replacement yet. And it's annoying because it's been about 7 years now. But that to me really proves how out of nowhere them letting go of Steve Whitmire was. That really shows me at least that no one was prepared. No one knew it was happening. That's always what that signified to me. At the very least, they got lips back, right? We'll go one Steve Whitmire character at a time. One every 6 years. No, not James Corden. James Corden, who then dressed up like a rat, and everyone hated him. I'm convinced I saw James Corden in the town next to me. What was he doing? Sweetums, I don't know when I'll cover Sweetums. I'm trying not to, because I just did. I just did Thog, so I'm trying to avoid large characters for the time being. He was walking past a bank. Wow! No, wait, you're telling me James Corden was walking past a bank? Can you share what Muppet you're going to put in your next video, or are you going to do another poll first? I'm going to do another poll first. I've been enjoying the polls. I don't know who's going to be in the polls. I know Denise is, because she was second place last time. Might have been a guy who kind of looked like him. I've been trying to make sure the second place one always stays in the next poll. I can tell you what the next history lesson video is going to be. It was going to be the one on the 2015 pilot, but I just couldn't get it to work. So the next history lesson, which should be out, I guess, this Sunday, the one that I really want to do is Pigs in Space Deep Dish 9, which was when they tried to do a sequel series to it in Muppets Tonight with a whole new cast. I just think that's a really interesting topic. It has a weird history. I remember that. I remember that one time Statler and Waldorf dissed James Corden on the show. I thought that was funny, but only because Statler and Waldorf were dissing James Corden. Alright, so I said I'd be going for an hour. It's almost an hour, so thank you all so much. Everyone who showed up. I think I'm going to be wrapping things up. This was just sort of a test stream, but I think everything went well. I'd love to go a bit longer, but I do have to go do some other stuff. So I'm going to be out of here in a few minutes. Yeah, no, I definitely like to do more streams in the future. I don't know how often I will, but yeah. Wrap it up in about 2 minutes. But yeah, I will. I'll put up the poll tomorrow. I think, or when did I do the last poll? I did it on Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll put it up tomorrow. Not sure who's gonna be on it. I'm really not too sure. I know Denise has to be there because she got second place in the last poll again. I'll figure someone out. I'll figure something out. I really want to do an episode on the Muppets, but the last two I did were characters who first appeared in the 2011 movie. Here in a few decades' time, we'll have a channel based on every popular multimedia franchise to ever exist. So, I mean, we'll just have to see. I think I should go for someone from Muppets Tonight or someone from the 80s. So I have things organized by decade, and I have nothing from the 80s. Or 2000s, but there aren't many new characters from 2000 to 2010. Plus, I want to talk about the guy from the Muppet Kitchen with Cat Cora. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching the stream. I'm going to be wrapping things up. New video should be up Thursday. Like I said, tomorrow the poll will go up if you want to vote for who the next episode of Muppet Deep Dive will be on. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Do Danny Trejo Part 2. At this point, I may have to.